GETTY World Cup 2018, Gareth Southgate has led England to the semi-final in Russia. Chief Executive Martinez and Technical Director Dan Ashworth have been doing plausible impersonations of Cheshire cats here in Russia. The reason is simple. England have had a remarkable World Cup and Gareth Southgate has emerged as a remarkable manager with an enormous future. So it would seem churlish to criticise English football's governing body during what has now become one of their finest hours. But the fact remains that Southgate has been like a gift to both Glenn and Ashworth. Quite literally. Let's not kid ourselves. The FA stumbled on Southgate due to circumstances that dictated he was the next best man for the job. GETTY England are hoping to reach just a second major final in their history. The FA's original choice to replace Roy Hodgson in the wake of two almighty failures at major tournaments was, of course, Sam Allardyce. Yet Big Sam made a big mistake when he was caught on camera claiming there were ways around FA rules regarding third-party ownership. He was sacked after just one game in charge. But if it hadn't been for some excellent journalism, the likelihood is he would still be England boss now, and the Three Lions wouldn't have reached the semi-finals of Russia 2018, so, despite a thorough interview process, Southgate landed in the lap of the FA, and for them to take some of the credit for all we have achieved in recent weeks is somewhat misleading. The brutal truth is that Southgate has been the savior of more than just the Three Lions. World Cup 2018 winner odds. Who are the bookies' favourites after England reached the semi-final? GETTY Glenn and Ashworth owe a huge debt of personal gratitude to Southgate for helping repair some of the immense damage done to their reputations during the Eni Lucas scandal. The shameful episode was one of the FA's darkest hours, and the fact Glenn and Ashworth survived this shock is a minor miracle. But fast forward to now and it would seem impossible to think these two, along with the other Blazers at the FA, would be foolish enough to look a gift horse like Southgate in the mouth. Those who love the national team should hope Southgate remains boss for a long time. The 2022 World Cup in Qatar has to be the minimum target. But even someone of his capabilities will not be around forever. He admitted as much last week while speaking to the press ahead of the quarter-final showdown with Sweden. When the time comes for Southgate to step aside, if he isn't sacked like all those before him, then the FA have to keep him within the organisation. GETTY England beat Sweden to qualify for the semi-finals of the World Cup in Russia. People like him come around once in a generation, and we are fortunate to have him in our ranks. He was a fine footballer, but his true talents are best exploited off the pitch, where he is able to excel in various different roles. Southgate should be told he has a job for life at the FA if he wants one. In the future he would make a top-class chief executive, or perhaps he would be the obvious successor to Ashworth. Oliver Bierhoff has made the leap from former international footballer to successful administrator with a German FA. He is an example of what Southgate could still become further down the line. He doesn't have to be managing the England senior side to have a defining influence on it in some shape or form. The FA have been blessed with a special talent and need to maximize it for as long as possible. Do this and the future will remain bright for longer than we ever dreamt was possible. Related articles. GETTY Kevin Sinfield will take over as head coach of the Leeds Rhinos. Kevin Sinfield has to be one of the bravest men in sport. Not because he is capable of going to the dentist and having root canal surgery without an anesthetic, but because Sinfield has put his magnificent reputation as a genuine legend on the line by agreeing to succeed Brian McDermott as head coach of the Leeds Rhinos. Not only is Sinfield following in the footsteps of the greatest coach the club has ever had, but he also happens to be the most successful player the club has ever had. If he cannot replicate that success from the sidelines, his status will be tarnished. Sport can be cruel like that. So he only has one option, and that is to become a great coach. If Sinfield can achieve this, he will then become known as the single most influential individual in the history of the entire club. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Critics have fallen in love with Roberto Martinez again as he continues to enhance his reputation as one of the smartest managers in the game. Some members of the media are swooning over him big time, considering they applauded him out of the room following his press conference, after leading Belgium to a famous win over Brazil in Kazan at the weekend. Let's get some perspective. It was a quarterfinal, not the final. Martinez hasn't won the World Cup. He could do, of course, and if this happens then it will make him the perfect example of how some managers can be great with an international side, but just cannot hack the rigors of club football and the treadmill of endless games. People also have short memories. Martinez's last defeat in football was as Everton boss in 2016 to Sunderland. His tenure at Goodison Park ended so badly that even Gareth Barry hammered him in the press. To make matters worse, the club's board sacked him before the final home match of that season against Norwich because they couldn't stomach the thought of how fans would react. It's safe to say Martinez has found his niche in life. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Getty Loris Karius's howling performance in the Champions League final has been blamed on concussion. Jurgen Klopp insists he is 100% convinced concussion was to blame for Loris Karius's howling performance in the Champions League final defeat to Real Madrid. It must have been quite a blow to the head, because the German was a walking disaster from start to finish. But if this is right, then how does Klopp explain some of Karius's other displays since joining the Merseysiders from Mainz in 2016? The last time I checked, concussion lasts about a week, 2 in some cases, but not 24 months. Related articles.